Day 1 of the EU PUBG Continental Series group stage is complete. Did the top teams dominate? Hell no. Stay tuned to find out more.
Hey peeps, I'm Skeletoris and welcome back to the channel. But if you're looking to level up your gameplay, then hit that subscribe button along with the bell so we can advance to the next level together.
Going into day 1, I had high hopes for the EU's best teams, expecting the likes of TSM and Liquid to tear the competition apart. If you want to see a breakdown of each team and their roster changes recently, I have a video right here along with my EU PCS prediction. The teams that made it through the open qualifier stages have come out with the gates blazing and are wrestling to make their mark early in the games. Entropic shows TSM they aren't messing about, leaving Vard limping out the fight, but he didn't get too far. Tempest catch Liquid off guard as they tunnel vision onto NAVI, and Redline hone in on a hunkered down Raise Your Edge. In the end, game 1 came down to a 3v2 Unity versus Omaken, and after getting 8th position in the recent DreamHack, Omaken looked like they were hungry to prove themselves, and Faze stepped up to the mark, taking the final 2 Unity players with his last 17 rounds. You can see, even after just one game, the open qualifier teams aren't going to let anyone push them around, with only Omaken and NAVI in the top half of the table. Luckily for the other invited teams, this is a 36 game group stage, so they'll have plenty of time to rise through the ranks. Into game 2, El Giganton want in on the action and take a fight to raise your edge early. However, their execution didn't see them win this engagement, losing Gaxi to a third party and Norkis on the push, whereas Raise Your Edge only lost out on Shiv. Liquid try their best to remedy the first game, and Mexi gets a great knock onto Hayaku as Go Black flies by on a bike. Team Liquid then pick a fight on DA and Entropic to see if they can increase their kill count, but it seems that whatever they do, third party shots prevent them from pushing their opponents and stealing their kills, and in the end it cost Liquid, who went out in 9th position. Game 2 came down to Omaken, Red Zone and Tempest. Red Zone managed to do the damage onto Omaken, who decided to deny the last point to the Blue Zone. Tempest, knowing they have the numbers, push up onto Red Zone, and once they get the knock, Red Zone decide to also deny the point, leaving Tempest victorious. As the world is in lockdown, the PCS series is all online, which comes with its own issues. From muted mics, giving out the wrong name of your interview,
Okay, hello Reggie. Well, congratulations on that win.
So I'm replacing Reggie for.
Oh, who is that?
It's Pistol if I'm the coach.
forgetting which teams are actually playing today.
That's a rare sight there, Martin. Faze in 24th place, or joint 24th, to be honest, I suppose. But it's not too often we see that name down at the bottom, eh?
And it wouldn't be complete without a pet. Meet Floof. So after just 2 games, the leaderboard shows that the bigger EU teams need to come out and play. TSM and Liquid, who I thought would be steaming ahead of the pack by now, are struggling near the bottom. Liquid with 5 points and TSM with only 2. Let's see if they can shake off whatever it is holding them back. In game 3, other qualifier teams keep applying the pressure, with Redline managing to ambush Omaken and Unity come out on top against Raise Your Edge, but only just. All Team Liquid want to do is show what they are capable of, but are off to a rocky start. They struggle to keep Entropic at bay, and perhaps only saved by Reggie Beardo's inexperience, who went for the flush. They also push Redline later in the game, but end up having to retreat. They then find themselves falling victim to DA when they are rotating towards the end game. TSM have a similar fate. During an interview at DreamHack, Iru mentioned how they were struggling to keep all their players up during the rotations. Is this the sort of thing they're on about? Down to the last 4 teams, NAVI have a strong ridgeline that overlooks the rest of the teams, but Red Zone and Omaken are too focused on each other, which allows NAVI to centre up and take out Digital Athletics. All they have to do now is wait for the remaining teams to come out of the compound and secure the win. As Red Zone leave, NAVI starts to pick them off, but Page, the last man standing for Omaken, steals 2 of the kills before getting sprayed down by NAVI. This was actually a super smart play from Omaken, as it kept NAVI from going above them in the leaderboard. But regardless of that, NAVI absolutely dominated Game 3, getting 24 points with a huge 15-point gap to second place. With today's Miramar matches out of the way, the leaderboard looks like this. Omaken and NAVI are flying ahead with a massive 20-point gap between second and third. The next 20 points span 3rd to 13th. But just look at all the open qualifier teams in the top 10. There's 7, something I did not expect to see this early in PCS. Let's get into the first Erangel game. The first circle we see lands on Millie, leaving the northern teams such as Unity that landed at Zaki with a long trek to zone. A lot of the southern teams opted to rotate quickly, avoiding any bridge camps and hoping to gain favourable ground fast. But DA find themselves under the western bridge under fire from El Giganten and TSM, but TSM pick up the points. NAVI find themselves at the mercy of Redline as they try to enter the circle but end up going out in 16th place, which just goes to show that even teams with wins have to be careful, otherwise they will find themselves going out early in the next match. At this point, Pixel manages an outstanding play against Adept, quickly shutting and opening a door so he can throw a molly out on Noki. Unfortunately, he then crashes the building next to Tornado Energy to end his game. Liquid and Etiquette find themselves locked together, but Mexi sacrifices himself and allows Team Liquid to come out on top. They straight away push on the El Giganten, getting 2 more points, but lose focus and are punished by Entropic, who get a kill onto K-Mind. TSM also found themselves in the thick of things against Unity, where TSM wrap around them to cut off their escape. TSM and Liquid are looking a lot more like the teams we expect. They even have a small skirmish that doesn't really end well for either of them. Tornado Energy try to enter the circle from the northeast, but Entropic were holding the high ground above them and make a squad wipe look easy despite the amount of smokes Tornado Energy put down as cover. With fire in their blood, Entropic push up onto TSM, who go out in 3rd place, but forget to keep a player back looking for the last teams, which nearly loses them the match. But even when Omaken knocked 2 of Entropic, they still managed to emerge victorious despite their inexperience showing. Well, one thing is for certain on day 1. Omaken are playing consistently out of their minds, managing to pick up another 10 points that starts to break them away in the leaderboard. And it's only game 4. However, TSM and Team Liquid seem to have woken up, but surprisingly we have the likes of Entropic, Red Zone and Tempest in the top 5. In Game 5, Omaken seek revenge on Entropic, managing to kill 3 of the team. Entropic eventually goes out in 15th place. NAVI, who have been doing well in the previous games, find themselves heading straight into Digital Athletics. Both teams get out of the engagement, but NAVI leave with 1 man. Bestelok is eventually killed and NAVI go out in 13th. TSM hold firm against Razor Edge in the trenches outside Pachinki, but then go out in 11th. Team Liquid find themselves in a 2v4 against Tempest and go out in 8th place. Tempest then crash towards the edge of the zone near a ledge, but are exposed to 3 teams and are quickly killed. This game came down to Omaken versus Tornado Energy in a 4v3, but ends up as a 2v1 and Omaken stick together like glue until they find example when they split apart and go for the win. Seriously, what has happened in the last week that has solidified Omaken as a team and seen the likes of TSM and Liquid fall apart? Did they get too comfortable with their 1st and 2nd place in DreamHack? Did they think that that was all the practice they needed? Not only are Omaken ahead, but they now have nearly double the points of the team below them. According to T-Bone, Gempty has changed things up for them and allowed them as a team to be more aggressive. In the last game of the day, it seems Omaken relaxed a bit too much and went out in 16th place. Entropic managed to wipe NAVI in 12th position, with Double getting 3 kills. They then push Tornado Energy but overreach against Team Liquid. The final game comes down to Red Zone and Tempest 3v3. Once down to 2v1, Red Zone start to snake, but it's Pixel who acts as the downed sniffer dog, gives the info to his teammates and secures the final win of the day. Well, what a day. An absolute blinding start for Omaken, who see themselves way ahead of anyone else, But surprisingly for me, it has been a day for the open qualifier teams, with Tempest, Entropic and Red Zone in 2nd, 3rd and 4th position. This has been a wake-up call for the EU invited, the supposed elite of Europe. I can imagine that Group C will be watching and thinking they can't underestimate these teams. If you can't wait to see what Day 2 has in store, then consider clicking that subscribe button along with the bell so you don't miss out on what's to come. I have a video here that could help you crouch jump through windows, gaining the tactical advantage.